work on taking the ball away more. I'm sure that they're more focused on securing the ball, and I just think that it just kind of works both ways, where we got to be able to get 3 and outs, turnovers to get the ball back to the offense, and then I'm sure that they want to have long sustained drives where they can keep us off the field, keep us fresh, that kind of stuff. So I just think it kind of works both ways, and when we're both clicking, then I think that we're a really good football team.
Garret, linebackers usually wind up leading this team in tackles, have for a lot of years. Dakota's right now the leading tackler. From your perspective, what are the things that you think he does so well that has put him in that position as a defensive back?
Well, I think one thing is he's not scared to come up and make tackles. I mean, he'll throw himself in the hole no matter what, and he's just not afraid to throw his head in there. You kind of compare him to Michael Caputo. I mean, that guy would come downhill and make a big tackle on players. Didn't matter how big they were. So I just kind of think of Dakota like that. He's kind of like a heat-seeking missile. He comes in really hot. You could tell you could see it in that game-winning sack against Northwestern. But he flies around. He has fun. He loves his defense, his team, and I think he doesn't do it for himself. He does it for everyone around him. So I think that Dakota's just one heck of a player and a person as well.
Apologies if you already asked about TJ's targeting call, but from your perspective as a defensive player, when you see that he wraps up and it seems like he does all the right things, what does that make you think about what you're supposed to do in a situation like that?
It's definitely frustrating. I mean, I'm sure for TJ, I'm not really sure how he was feeling. I know he was definitely disappointed not being able to play the second half, and that's something that just as a defense we try to work on every single day, making sure we keep our head up, making sure that we're hitting people in the strike zone, that kind of stuff. And I mean, it's definitely tough when something like that happens, and I mean, there's really nothing that you can really do about it after it's been called. I mean, sometimes you just kind of have to know when to lay off on big hits, that kind of stuff. Personally, I only saw the play once. I wasn't really sure if it was necessarily the right call, but I'm not a referee, so I don't really know. But no, it definitely sucks to see TJ leave a game. He's a heck of a player, a heck of a leader. But I mean, that's just something that we kind of have to work on every day.
I know you can't control, what the officials say, what the rules are, but eventually, would you like to see a rule where there's maybe like different levels of targeting? Like if a guy, isn't a heat-seeking missile and seems to wrap up properly, then maybe there wouldn't be an ejection. Like, do you see that as a fair solution?
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I mean, I know sometimes when the offensive players they change their positions a lot when they're running the ball, and a lot of times it's not necessarily the defensive player's fault. And I know that like sometimes in the NFL, like they don't get ejected for that kind of stuff. It's a personal foul, 15 yards. I think if they do it twice, then they do. But sometimes I think it could be maybe a little excessive, and that there could be other levels. But other times, I mean, you got to protect the players, and it's not just to protect the offensive guys; it's to protect defensive guys as well. So I mean, I guess we'll see later on down the road what happens.
Garret, how much film have you watched any film in Maryland yet? And if so, what's your kind of impressions of their quarterback? They're down to their third string guy.
He's definitely stepped up in a role that I know he wasn't expecting to do. He got a big win against Minnesota starting that game, and their offense is based solely on whether they can run the ball, and they've done it really well in a lot of their games. I know they're averaging about 180 yards of rushing a game, and so that's just something as a defense that we have to focus on stopping. And I know that they have really good athletes at the running back and wide receiver spot, and especially when they get in open space, that they can make defenders look silly pretty much. And so that's just something where we have to focus on getting multiple people to the ball, so it's not just one-on-one tackles all game.
And the quarterback can run the ball too, right?
Yeah, I mean the offense is based around a lot of read plays, zone read, all that kind of stuff, where the quarterback has the option to run the ball, and so that's just kind of where you guys have to know their assignments, make sure that their eyes are in the right spot, and just know what they're doing.
You guys have played so well as a defense, and there's been times where you've been backed up, whether it's turnovers or penalties that set the offense back. I'm not asking you to throw the offense under the bus, but do you see that halfway through the season and think that these are issues that could cost us a game, can cost us a chance at a special season that have kind of been recurring?
I think that that just kind of has to do with the trust factor. I know the offense has expressed their gratitude in us, especially after last game when we had a couple big stops after. I know one was kind of self-inflicted on a block punt, and And then another one was just a couple turnovers that I know the offense doesn't necessarily want to have. And I know that they're correcting that in their room, and we have the utmost confidence that they're going to do their job. I mean, they still had 500 yards of offense. I know as an offense that they want to punch the ball in the end zone a couple more times. But, we know our offense is going to move the ball, so we're not worried about that. And then we just have to – we take great pride in if they are struggling or have a turnover, that we can get their back and just try to get the ball to them as soon as possible. And especially in that Purdue game, we were able to do that a couple of times.